All right, already we're getting some little bit of a red move here. We've got 409 million of calls on the books. Large red candle on Nasdaq. 60. That was almost a 100-point red candle right there on Nasdaq, and they promptly bottom wicket. TradeAvate got me yesterday as well. Funded account wouldn't execute stop loss. Smoked by funded. No $100. So I just don't. It's one of the reasons I've never been able to trust TradeAvate. Obviously, when you're live, that you have no choice with TPT. However, when you're on the live book, things act a lot differently. You're on a different order book, so it's a little bit more reliable. When I was on live, the problems everyone else was having, I wasn't having because it was a live order book. So, if you're signing up for TPT accounts, I have to encourage you to go with Rhythmic. Even if you don't do Quantower, there's 15 different other options you can choose from. Just go with Rhythmic. Go with Rhythmic. I know why y'all want TradeAvate is so you can trade on your phones, so you can trade mobile. But don't do it. It's terrible. It's terrible. All right, doubled bottom wick here on Nasdaq. Looking across the market, we have a mostly red tech. Tech is getting wrecked. Everything else is mediocre green. Banks are still top ticking going down. Our buddy TLT is up again into the almost going into 90. So I think again bonds are going to start to make their move within the next couple of months. We have at the moment put selling, call buying. So we're going to see a couple of bottom wicks here on the markets. Let's see what they're going to do. 3 bottom wicks in a row on Nasdaq here. Let's see if we can get something going. We don't really have any more data today. Data is weak. Another aggressive bottom wick right there. But it's just kind of back and forth. There we go. Large explosive move. Starting to get something going. Shaky, shaky, shaky. Nothing solid. S&P is kind of creeping up here. Overall, we have this little level into the 24,820. So on the 15-minute chart, we haven't been able to put a higher high in. All it is just this leggy expansion and contraction here. So, yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Move into 795. They are selling off a bunch of calls here. Selling off a bunch of calls. Hoping to see a sweeping topic of overnight high. That would be beautiful. That would be fantastic. It would give us a great opportunity to pivot. Next week is OPEX. OPEX. We have a 1-star event at 11 o'clock, and that is literally the only thing on the schedule today. That's going to be non-factor. It won't even blink. So that is it for data today, effectively. Coming down, 745. There we go. Sweep the range. The overnight has been very rotational, tends to lead to RTY whippy style price action. Nice it. What's up, Dan? Have a good day, baby. Go enjoy that golf course. Snagged a quick 9-point gold trade on the reset Lucid I blew yesterday. Nice. There you go. This is very much back and forth. Remember, yesterday was fantastic. Extraordinary movement all the way down. We called it all the way down. So, from here, until we see a higher high, because I'm thinking in my head R&R. I'm thinking R&R. What are the 3 C's? The 3 C's are the right side of the V. We haven't even begun to put on the right side of the V yet. Unless you're scalping some bottoms here, there's no long trade at all. It's all top wicks. We can close a higher high. So for me, I don't want to do it because when the time comes to buy the dip, the R&R is huge. There's hundreds of points that you can capture on that trade if you're patient. But yet, they are smoking everything. Every single attempt to go higher is broken. And now, here's another aggressive top wick. If we get lower, we'll take out 680, and then we'll retest the 620 area. Watch the VIX. The VIX is now going back up. We're over 21 again. VIX is incredibly elevated here. Incredibly elevated. I can't even talk today. What's going on? There, another big red sweeping top wick. They are selling the crap out of calls. Look at the calls on the hero. Tremendous call selling. Tremendous call selling. Look at this. What's up, YouTube? How's it going? What about FOMC? That was last week. That was last week. Next FOMC is mid-March. Or 2 weeks ago, FOMC was. Look at the call selling. Is Vixpiration next week? Yeah, OPEX and Vixpiration is next week. Yeah. Missed yesterday's play. Hope everyone managed to get some yesterday. Yeah, we had a fantastic day yesterday. At least I did. It was extraordinary. Extraordinary. I've had a lot of piddle trades back and forth. I've taken 2 main trades. It was non-farm payroll and then yesterday's downside position. And hopefully we can finish the week out strong here. Here we go, 712. More sweeping top wicks off this area. More call selling and put buying. Still going. There we go. If we can grab this 680 area, we can look for that next price. It's Friday the 13th. Might spook some folks. Yeah. Am I correct in thinking the distribution thesis is further confirmed by the fact that selling is orderly and controlled? Yes. So it's not simply just volatility response. I mean, there's a controlled demolition. Yesterday was controlled demolition all day long. And the fact that we couldn't claim higher highs in the daily, not to mention, my thesis since 5 months ago was distribution. And we're beginning to show signs of that. We can't capture higher highs. The market has no volume. Every single rally is only attributed to 0 DT buying on the daily. So every green move on the days is an opportunity to capture the high short. And as soon as we break this little low today, into next week, we could start to see that low range. Another top wick here, 720. Silver got wrecked yesterday, absolutely demolished. They bounced back about half overnight and is in the process of filling back lower. NASDAQ is down and shifting. Here we go. Once we take out the 680, we'll go for 620. There we go, new low. Can we get lower? Tremendous call selling. Tremendous call selling. Call selling like you've never seen before. Some would say the most tremendous call selling we've ever seen. 706, 710. Amazing. If they take out this level, overnight lows is next. Overnight lows is next. Here we go. Top wick. They've sold $700 million worth of calls since the open. Lower lows. Overall, ES is coming down. RTY is dropping. Silver, that's not relevant. Gold, that's not relevant. Oil is dropping. Let's go take a look. NVIDIA is getting demolished. All of tech is getting demolished. So we'll see. Gold's looking like it might set up a 3C short. Beautiful. Beautiful. Possibly. They're about to undo the entire CPI range. NASDAQ just filled the CPI range, which wasn't that big of a move. Overall, there we go. I made $26,000 trying to lose money on my Lucid eval with 6 silver minis yesterday. Nice. We do have a 3-day weekend. Markets are closed on Monday. So just be advised. Beautiful 3-day weekend. Can't wait. Another red candles here. New low of the day. Looking for the low of 620. Let me collapse that for you. What y'all think? What y'all think? Watch the VIX. Watch the VIX. Dropping. Or I'm sorry, climbing. 2158. Still going. NASDAQ still sliding lower. Next up, 620. All the way down. All the way down. 643 down to 625. 73% probability we won't get a 5-minute close above that imbalance high today. Nice. Here we go, 620. Once we take 620, man, That's all she wrote. Now, of course, we have a trend line down into the 560 area, but the overall target will be 156. There's a massive transit area for another 500 points once we take out this area. All the way down. So far, we're already down 180 points out of the gate. There's nothing but call selling, put buying. I told you all. Everyone's looking to buy the dip. Everybody. They have led the sheeps to the edge of the cliff the past 5 years of trying to buy every single dip that's ever been had. And especially this week. There we go. New low, 620 and dropping. Lovely stuff. It's lovely. It's lovely. Lovely. Next stop, 560. Yeah. Lost rhythmic connection in a position. Screenshot. Screenshot and then get your logs. Rhythmic has logs that they'll look at. Are you still sticking to the 15-minute trading window? I've taken a couple of trades this week below 15 or before the 15 minutes. Just always small position size. There we go. If you have an NVIDIA chip, NVIDIA has screen recording where you can just hit a hotkey and boom, you have screen recording. So highly recommended if you're trading any prop firm. Doesn't matter what it is. You can just, something's going on, you hit the screen record, bada boom, bada bing. And then, of course, you go into the trading logs. If you have proof, the props will work with you, but you have to have proof. Snipping tool has it now too? Do they really? I didn't know that. See, you know more than I do. All right, coming on down, 560's next target right here. We're already down 230 points. Let's go. New low of the day. They've already taken out overnight lows. We have the trend line touch at 560. After that, it's all she wrote, man. Start bringing out the band to start playing the music on the deck of the ship because iceberg right ahead. Let's go, baby. All the way down. Iceberg right ahead. Call selling, put buying is what we're seeing here. Not a lot of put buying, though, just a lot of call selling. A little bit of bounce right off of the trend line. Kennedy's stupid trend line. Kennedy's trend line. I got short at 722. Beautiful. Should I drag stop or what's it go? Okay. No, you're not mooching. That's why we're here, Nancy. It's good stuff. So, you have a fantastic entry. You have over a 100-point win on NASDAQ. So you have to ask yourself, anytime you capture 100 points on NASDAQ, that is big money. Ask yourself, what else do you want? Set your stops. Don't allow any big bounces. Stop out of the position. You can always re-enter. Oh, you can always re-enter. Like right there. That's a big old bounce off the trend line right there. They just closed out a crap ton of puts on that move. Curious on your thoughts on a shifting swing stop down. I went short at 68, 69.65. I'm thinking of moving my stop down to overnight high. That's a good one. So the overnight high is structure. You talking about overnight low, you mean? That's a big old hammer right there. I mean, right there, that was a 110-point hammer off of that trend. Stupid trend lines. Stupid trend lines. How's everybody doing on YouTube? Big old going. They're about to take out the entire range in one candle, baby. Give me that. They just sold off 500 million worth of puts right there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Welcome freeloaders. That's right. Nice, Ghost of Peanut. You're gonna make enough money to bring back Peanut. Look at that. Look at that. Tremendous. Tremendous bottom wick. First day trying to come back trading after an absolute wild 2 weeks and all my accounts are locked on Top Step. And I can't logged. Like locked on a good way math on Top Step? Close my S&P swing put for 120%. Nice, Kennedy. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Still going. Beautiful bounce. Man, I hope Hero gets their stuff together this weekend. This website has been laggy as crap this week. Look at that big green move. Holy smokes. I took one short on ES, $1,000 away from pass eval. I have 15 days left to it. Auto renews. Any advice? So you locked in $1,000 profit. I mean, just keep on going, man. Just keep on going. Man, what a move. Just take it easy. You know, just take whatever your balance is that you need to capture and however many days you have left, and just make that your goal. Easy peasy. 3C long? Absolutely. That is a 3C long signal if I've ever seen one. 100%. They just bought back a crap ton of calls. They just sold off a crap ton of puts and rocketed that range all the way up. Now let's see where they go. Now they're coming up to overnight high. So they're just going to go overnight low to overnight high in about 4 minutes, which is nutty. Kermit has arrived. That's right. I'll give you something green. Booyah. Let's go take a look elsewhere. 68.53 into the overnight high. RTY. Silver bouncing. 3C on silver too. Very clean 3C on silver. Kermit the Frog and Mike Bibby have the same voice. I don't know who Mike Bibby is. Oh, you're talking about... yeah, I know you're talking about. No, I don't know who you're talking about, actually. All right, we take this range. Then we'll go to overnight high. And that'll be our next target. After that, we'll go to this right here, which is yesterday's 3C. 943. Basketball player? Ah. There you go. Last basketball game I watched was 1998. Almost a 300-point range in 15 minutes. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. That's a heck of a move right there. Here's overnight high levels. We have call, buying, put selling. Last dance. That's right. If you look on the 5-minute, we have a tremendously large bottom wick there. Right there. Just bottom wick off of 576 after putting in a new low. And coming up into 840, looking for 865. Will be the next target. Will be the next target. Rejecting off of it. They are selling back on calls. ES bounced right on Davos. Yeah. Next year, you're going to reference Jason Williams. I don't know who that is either. I don't know who any of these people are. Yeah. Was this too much too fast? Nah, I mean, I'm sure they'll do their thing off of it, but I don't really apply that too much too fast when after it reverses. So the reversal could be the accumulation to go back up. So there you go. There you go. Christos negative. He's gone for 8 months and he comes back with very, very strong opinions. Welcome back. White chocolate? Who's white chocolate? I don't know white chocolate. I don't like white chocolate. White chocolate is just lying about being chocolate. Basketball player again? Dude, you're talking to the guy who didn't even know what teams are playing in the Super Bowl. Like I don't watch sports. I don't watch sports. All right, another sweeping top wick off of it. Whatever the opposite of 6 rocket ships are, I would post it here. That's Jason Williams' nickname, White Chocolate. OM is white chocolate. There you go. Let me take a look. What do we got going on here? Nvidia. This is obviously very volatile here. So get your swipes in and then get out. This market is shaking and baking, baby. There's a 50% range right there, retracing to the 50%. Right off of it, 700. Caught the top of that. Nice, Mr. Cheerios. This is your indication right here. Take 2 treadle, 2 candles. I'm going to join my Friday. I work with the guy who invented white chocolate. Nice. Beautiful, coming off. I became a Tier 1 member yesterday. How do I find daily streams? Based on YouTube, I don't see anything that says live stream. Can you shoot me a DM in Discord? Another large red candle. Back down. Wow, this is spicy. I like it. Opportunity, baby. Opportunity for everybody. This is fantastic. Fantastic. Another bottom wick. 2 bottom wicks here on the S&P. Can they hold the 50% range? 714, 7100. Right there. Off of that range. There you go, 741. Didn't reply to skip to my lube, but great player. 946.3. See if we get the close. You got to get the close, of course. We have bottom wicks, we have volume at the 50%, but it's not obviously high or high. So we've had 2 very quick moves here. You can play the downside, you can play the upside, and now we have another downside move, but don't let them fake you out here. So at the moment, this is very high momentum. So at this point, we're coming all the way back down to 578, which is low of the day. They're just playing range to range here at this point. So they got to get a higher high. Let's go to the Cinco. What do we have? Obviously, these moves are so big, the 5-minute chart isn't that much help right now because the higher highs and lower lows are so extraordinary. Which means position sizing comes down. If you want to trade off the 1, cool. Position sizing has to come down when that happens. Pull it back. Is your opening range level just the first 15 minutes? It's the 1 hour high low, the 60-minute high, the 60-minute low, and it sets then. What's the options data says? Options data says they're selling off all the calls here, and we're still holding the 50 Fibonacci and the 700 mark right here. Big green coming back up. Just force to sit here. Hey, that's perfectly fine, math. Perfectly fine. Those guys are so entertaining. What an era 20 years ago. There you go. You took that 3C other? There you go. Big green coming back up. Interesting. Muy interesante. Wow. Massive top wick. Look at that. Just got demolished. Just got demolished. Man, this is spicy. One of my favorite trades to play on gold lately are these dumps during a volume spike. You know what's going on right now, Juicebox? Everybody's trying to buy the dip. So if the trade is crowded, then what's the most likely outcome? So they're dumping every opportunity of high prices. That's what's happening here. Very volatile. Everybody in the market right now, millions and millions of traders are trying to buy the dip. What do you think that they're going to do? So, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to shake it out. Even if they do go up, there's going to be a large period of shakeout before it actually happens. They're not that kind. Yes, sir, Kyle. Yes, sir. And I'll get you squared away. I need to know your Discord handle. We had 7 spammers in the chat this morning. I got them out. So you're basically selling sell every rip. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Another top wick. Another top wick. 2 sweeping top wicks on the Cinco right there. What do we have on the options? Call selling right here. There are 27 million calls sold. So we have top wick, we have top wick, we have large green. They're buying it back up. Top wick higher so far. 800. So basically, yeah. I got my trades earlier, made profit, and I'm sitting here wild stuff. Yeah, buddy, this is like a bucking bull right now, man. This is crazy. This is crazy. 407 million puts sold, 35 million calls sold. Going up to 800. 80-point rip so far. Do we get 3 smashing top wicks in a row? Or do they finally recapture 850? Let's go to the 5 again. If this candle closes, you'll have your 3C. But please play with reduced position sizing. What's the VIX doing? VIX is hanging out back and forth, red-green. That's now putting on a red to 21. NASDAQ is still 775. S&P is 6850. Coming on back down. And they're failing this candle too. They're still selling calls. They're not buying calls here. It's not bullish on the call side. And they're about to collapse this candle. Back and forth. Oof. Wow. 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 They just collapsed that whole freaking candle, people. Wow. Wow. Oh, man. Today definitely ain't easy being green, baby. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't see an edge right now. Right now, this is a rodeo, man. So yeah, if you're looking for a good V or a good inverse V, this ain't it. This is a scalper's paradise right now. This is a scalper's paradise. So what I recommend to you, reduce your position sizing. I'm not going to. Well, I will say it again. I sound like Dad there for a minute. I'm not going to say it again. Reduce your position sizing to micros if you're going to play this and have fun. Scalp it, but don't blow out trying to max size this stuff. They are selling off every single rip. I'm telling you, people. I've been right all week. Why are you going to go against me today? I've been right all week. I've been right all week. 10 minis, you say? Chump change. Oh, man. My CPA just emailed me about taxes. I don't want to deal with that right now. Delete. Move to spam folder. 2 successful trades, 1 long, 1 short, just waiting for them to pick a direction. Love it. Live by the sword, die by the sword. Yep. All right, so here's another test of the 680. Look at the options, people. They're selling calls and they're buying puts. In other words, fade the pops with puts and fade the drops with calls. Yes. For now, yes. But what's the overall theme today? Does the range need to tighten before we break? Not really. Not really. Ooh, I need to get this guy too. I had a long meeting last night with the web developer with the new website. Looks fantastic. The new payment system is fantastic. The Tier 2 locked content room is fantastic. I'm super excited about this. Super excited. Looks great. New blog postings and everything. All right, another red candle. This should get us down. This should get us down. You would like that, Damien. An overnight high sweep would be beautiful. I think we got pretty dang close to that. They are holding under the 50 at 714. They rejected just under the overnight high, which is a great place to short. If they close this low of 685, play down to 580. That'll give you another 100 points. Where's the options? The options are still bearish. They're selling calls, buying puts. Selling calls, buying puts. What time is it? It is just hit 10 o'clock. We have a little 10 o'clock shakeout candle. There's very little data here. Very little. And then after that, we'll have our final determination. There's another top wick. Massive volume, yeah. What's the VIX doing? The VIX is still going up. They are not liquidating the VIX. So far, we do not have a VIX crush Friday. They're tightening the range here. Tightening the range. They're stair-stepping us. They are stair-stepping us. B shape. Another top wick. 740. What's S&P doing? Coming back green. RTY is going back up. The Dow is coming back. So silver put on a beautiful 3C and is holding. NASDAQ is just clapping. So what do we have here? We have this little mini trend line. Kennedy's trend line. Does it respect the trend line or does it go back up? Does it respect the trend line or does it go back up? Stupid trend lines. Stupid trend lines. Look at that. $7.44. Friday the 13th, yeah. It's Friday the 13th. Let's go to the 5. Multiple top wicks on the 5. Top wick, top wick, top wick. Can't hold anything. You need a higher high to consider long positions. Or maybe we just chop all day. I don't know. What we got? What we got? What we got? $7.55. Insiders are dumping shares at a rate we haven't seen in 4 years. Interesting. Insider sales are accelerating. What do you think, Kennedy? Trendline reduction? What's up, J-Dog? Puts are going back up. They're not buying calls, but they're selling puts. Very much a range session so far, just a volatile one. Another top wick. You are making me bullish. We are going green today. Are you think? I'm not so sure. Multiple top wicks into a supply doesn't really indicate bullishness to me. But I mean, you might be right. But right now, I don't see it. But we don't. I don't see it. There's another sweeping top wick. We need a higher high for me to get bullish. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I'm saying we need a higher high to get me bullish, and we can't do it. Another sweeping top wick. Not to mention, this isn't the day to when NASDAQ is putting on 60.1 minute candles. This is not the day to really beat your chest and go for yes or no and right or wrong. This is the day for waiting, being patient, and position sizing. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. So get this. I'm down here this morning. I'm doing my pre-market stuff about 5 o'clock in the morning, and I hear thump, thump, thump upstairs. So I'm like, what the crap is that? I go upstairs. My daughter's bedroom light's open. I open the door, and she's doing burpees at 5:15 in the morning. I'm like, what are you doing? And she has drawn up a calendar of a workout schedule. And she's like, I'm working out at 5 o'clock every day now. It brought a tear to my eye. It's like all we need is like a little AR shooting, and I'm a proud papa. This is crazy, man. She's the trader. She wants to be a trader. She actually said the other day she wants to do it. I'm like, I don't know. I love you too much to make you to allow you to trade. Like I wouldn't wish this upon anybody. Sitting here at a chart all day looking at red and green candles. A little bit more red top wicks coming in. Selling the highs. I loathe burpees. Me too. That's why I do them. I like to do stuff that I hate. I'm a glutton for self-punishment. Oh, man. All right, they are selling the crap out of calls here. Look at that. I mean, they've gone from 280 million positive to 200 million negative of calls. Now, they're not buying puts here, but they still are just kind of pinning. Here's another bottom wick. So, I mean, you see this on the 1 minute. Just can't hold the 50, can't go any higher. We're just stuck. Jiu-Jitsu is good for that? Yeah, I think I'm going to try to get her in Jiu-Jitsu. We've tried before. She didn't like it. I figured we'd try again in a couple of years. We'll try it again. Another top wick off the stupid trend line. Training kids because that's what you learn. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. What you do is you get yourself a good quality pistol. You get yourself a good quality AR. You go out to the range. You do 50 burpees. And you try to shoot 2 magazine with a magazine change with an AR, and then do transitions into your pistol while your heart rate's elevated. That'll get you jacked. 760 here. We're still stuck. I currently don't have any trades on the books right now. This is not the greatest. We had some beautiful price action to open, and this is kind of stuck. I need a lower low or a higher high to get me into something. The battle is commencing. The bulls are on the clock here. Shot clock violation if they can't grab a higher high. Sound like the perfect date? Absolutely. People don't understand how hard the biathlon is. It is, yeah. That's how you mimic combat environment, is you jack your heart rate up. It doesn't really, it's not a one-to-one difference. It's not a one-to-one change with the adrenaline pump. You can't really get the adrenaline pump, but you can get your heart rate elevated. Don't talk sports with us now. We know the truth. Hey, I used to be a massive sports fan. I played sports my whole life. It's not like I was a nerd. I got wedgies all the time. Had my lunch money stolen. I just don't do it now. 770. I have a buddy who works security at Area 51. He could outshoot any of us. Yeah, those dudes are crazy. Just live in Chicago. Might get the adrenaline. Yeah. Nerds. I always like playing sports, not so much watching them. Yeah. All right, here coming in green here. The 3C high or high, if you so choose, is, where's my stupid mouse? On that stupid trend line. There we go, right there. Right there. One v one in COD, bro. I'll shoot you. For real, for real. No cap. Do you wait for the candle close in the 1 minute? Negative on the Cinco if I need full confirmation. Anytime I trade off the 1, there's usually some sort of reason why I have a high degree of confidence. Like we're at a very high location. I see some sort of condition that's kind of driving me to take a position. But even still, if I make a decision off the 1 minute chart, I have to pull position sizing back. You're gonna get your hand slapped, confirming any kind of risk on the 1 minute. All right, so we had a green finally, took out the high, and now we're looking for a possible move. We'll see. Not a lot of clarity here. RTY is blasting small caps. The Dow is trying to recapture 50, which right now all the pedophiles are sweating because if they can't capture 50,000, they're in trouble. $24,802. I wish you would have dropped more, so I should have taken some cheap PCSs. Yeah, you got to be delicate playing with PCSs in these conditions, just because there's a tail risk in this environment. The markets are inherently unstable. Another bottom wick, 795. You hear devious, Phil? I just saw something that reminds me of you. Look at this. Just saw this on Twitter. Another bottom wick, NASDAQ, 805. NASDAQ, or ES, is coming up. I assume no one else is having problems getting Quan Tower to connect to the Rhythmic. I had some problems yesterday. I actually have a ticket out with TPT with them. I showed them my logs and stuff. So we'll see. We'll see. But I currently don't even have Quan Tower open. But I'm about to open it. All right, we kind of have this little drift here. Nothing of great confidence. Right here. Florida says any Republican that moves here gets a free AR. Heck yeah, man. You should definitely teach your daughter how to trade. She should learn a lot about herself early in life and she should respond to failing fast. If I knew how to trade before I was 18, heck, 30, I would have stressed so much about. Yeah. Teach her both long-term swing, day trader, little extra money. Yo, 100%. You know, I'll definitely teach her. You know, I'll teach all my kids. It's just I want them to enjoy life. Like I'll teach them how to invest. I'll teach them how to swing trade. They'll always be involved in the markets, but I don't want them sitting here scalping and day trading until they've lived their life. You know, I want them to go out. I want them to get degrees. I want them to start businesses. I want them to live life and then come back to the charts and be traders. You know, they'll always invest. They'll always swing trade. That kind of stuff. But yeah, or they can get themselves jobs where they can, you know, scalp while they're doing that. I've come to the conclusion that anywhere that isn't a rural area sucks. No offense to big city people, just my experience after living. 100%, 100%. Another red candle back down. She might end up having a passion for it, even though she's traditionally masculine. Yeah, yeah. Do you get all those emails from Guns of America from SHOT Shows? I do, yeah. I have a gun problem. All right, 811 here. We have a top wick. Still not a lot of great stuff. I'm from Philadelphia. I moved to South Carolina. No offense taken. Yep. In fact, my beautiful country road, right across on top of a hill, there's a house being built as we speak. Guess where they're from? In my beautiful country, my beautiful hill, California. There is a serious problem in this neck of the woods. It's not even a joke anymore. I pay my kids for A's and B's on every report card. Half goes to investment account. There you go. Nice. There you go. All right, still top wicking here. I don't have much for you at the moment. This it is Friday. Friday is my statistically worst day of the week to trade. Throw them in the Mississippi River. Yeah. You're from Spain? Nice, man. Well done. Well, bienvenidos. Another sweeping top wick here. Coming on down, coming on down. Lots of Californians in Colorado where I live, they were surprised when it's just expensive. Got to break in new neighbors, invite friends over right after new people moving close by. Well, target shoot all day. Yeah, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Hopefully they're like me. They left because they're like me. That's the hope at least. Otherwise, I mean, they're not going to have a good time here. Everybody down here is very much gun shooting people. All right, top wick here. Let's go to the 5. We need to get under a 3C of 750. These conditions are back and forth. Right here. If only everyone in California, not from California, go back to their own state. You're talking about the people that move to California could leave? 100%. I'm all about it. Let's have a mass repatriation. Being able to log off here and go for a walk to get some lunch or groceries, walk to the beach to surf. You know. Another top wick, 780. 780. Let's go. Do we get the 3C? Do I play credit spreads on indexes? I used to play them a lot. Every now and then I'll tiptoe into some spreads. I don't do it too much anymore. I will restart all of that once kind of the momentum leaves the market and we go back to kind of like a 2018. I'll kind of go back to doing a lot more of that stuff. I currently don't. Just because I've got so many irons in the fire, I don't have time to baby credit spreads. All right, large sweeping top wick, baby. Our time is coming. Let's go to the Cinco. What do we have? Top wick. We have a lower low, so we have a very light confirmed 3C here. Not a big one. Very light. Trade with caution. I know 5 out of 6 of those words, Spanish Anonymous. I don't know what the second word is. Something about listening? Escuchen? That's something about listening? All right, another top wick here, 740. Leaving for the day. Heavy weights to be lifted. Clients to meet, church to go to. I'll stay safe. All right, Kennedy, have a good day, baby. Have a good day. I don't anticipate streaming Monday. If I'm caught up and I'm kind of bored, maybe I'll come on here and talk with y'all. But the markets are closed. The futures are open until 12 o'clock Central, 1 o'clock Eastern time. I don't know. We'll see how things go. Traditionally, it wouldn't even be an option. I wouldn't even try to even think about streaming and trading. But you never know. You know, so lately the holidays have been moving pretty good. So who knows? I'll kind of see how things go. Yeah, they have been good moves. Definitely. 756. I don't see a lot of great stuff here. Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of great stuff here. Another top wick. Oh, man. Nasty stuff. Yeah, it's just back and forth, man. It's Friday. The thing about Fridays, either you get blast offs or you get big trends up or down, or you get a pin day, like a range day. And you find out pretty quick what's happening. Right now, this appears to be just a range day. So maybe we'll wait until power hour and break, but I don't know. You find out pretty quick which one of these it is. I am set to request payout on Monday morning, baby. That'll be a good month. Good month. It's a good start to the year. 2 months in a row, I'm over 20 G's each per month on payouts. Got to take the early ones and head into the weekend green. So long. Nice skinny. Took the bounce off Davos low, and then another 50% retracement. I'm done. There you go. Yeah, it's Valentine's Day. Y'all make sure that you got your Valentine's Day gifts in. Don't end up in the doghouse. I was really hoping to finish getting above 2K buffer on some Pro accounts. Maybe not today. Hey, remember, don't chase money goals. Trade what the market gives you. Don't chase money goals. That's a good way to get wrecked. That's how you overtrade, is you think to yourself that you need more money. Another 5-minute sweeping top wick right here. What are we doing? What are we doing? Another sweeping red candle. Down we go. Can we break this little pivot? 743 gets us another 100 points. Can we do it? That is multiple 5-minute top wicks here. Multiple 5-minute top wicks. I'm taking a family to Florida for next week for 10 days. That's the Valentine's gift. Heck yeah. A little Florida vacation in February. I love it. I don't understand people who go to Florida in July and August. Like, why would you do that to yourself? You go north in the summer. You go south in the winter. Like, the birds do it. Why can't we do it? Another sweeping top wick, NASDAQ. Family and I are going to Colorado next week. Heck yeah. I heard they finally got some good snow, so get yourself some skiing. Top wick. Come on, baby. Come on. Get something going. I love the heat ever since Iraq. Oh, man. Yeah, right. I wouldn't wish that on anybody, man. There we go. Get under it. I can confirm that the coast of North Carolina, July and August are torture. It's terrible. It's terrible. I don't go outside for like the entire month of August. It's awful. Or the last 2 weeks of July, the first 2 weeks of August. It's awful. Worst time of the year. If you're from Texas, you can go anywhere in the summer. Yeah. I remember being in San Antonio wearing my dress shoes for the military, black dress shoes, and my feet were sticking to the pavement. Like that the shoes were melting to the pavement. It's awful. All right, bottom wick back up, so no movement. What time is it? It's only 9:23. Anything on silver? Do we have anything on silver here? Silver's there. $75.68 is my win rate for the week. 75.68. The vast majority of my profits were taking on 2 trades this week. And that is why I don't do any kind of consistency accounts. I do not recommend consistency because if I had a consistency targets on my fronted accounts like Lucid does or now Top Step offers, I would have to lose money now on my funded accounts because of 2 smashing good trades. I don't miss the Kandahar heat. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Djibouti. My brother's in France looking for equipment to start making whiskey wine barrels. There you go. I'm sure he's in the right place. Do you journal all your trades? How do you know your win rate? The trade Top Step and TPT offers that stuff, or at least the Quan Tower offers that. So you can look at that. I'll be honest with you. I don't journal my trades anymore. Once I developed my system, and I tracked it for a long time, I journal my trades for a long time. I don't do it anymore. We have 3 of the fattest cities in America: Pittsburgh, Hoboken, and Rancho. I don't know that second word. Still going green. Back up. Information is so helpful. Done for the week. Lovely weekend. Catch you next week. Nice, Mark. I appreciate you, buddy. Appreciate the kind words, and God bless you. Have a good 3-day weekend. And I'm sure y'all don't celebrate President's Day with us, but I went to that, I forget the name of it. What was the name of that place? It was famous barbecue place that's just south of Austin and north of San Antonio. It's like a 3-hour wait. We went there. Salt Lick, yeah. That was it. That was like the open pit. Going green, going up to 850 here, back and forth. What happens if you forget about a prohibited trading event for TBT and take a trade, or in the middle of the trade? They will close your account. They will close your account, unfortunately. One time before, I completely forgot, and I placed a trade like 30 seconds into the event, and it closed the account. So ever since then, I don't even have the brokerage open during the news event. I don't even open it to keep myself from just erroneously, by a habit, putting a trade on if I see something. Or I'll just open up Top Step. Top Step, you can trade whatever you want. Or my personal brokerage account, obviously. Then I only have to worry about my wife smacking me in the face if I lose money on that. All right, another green's coming up. A lot of shakeout back and forth. We have call buying, put selling, and we're testing high of the day. Out of all of the data reports, I trade FOMC the worst. I trade non-farm payroll the best. CPI traditionally has been a very good event for me, although lately it's kind of a non-event. It doesn't really do much anymore. I've always had a good eye for non-farm payroll for some reason. I don't know. Every time you say topic, it reminds me of the scene from Cutting Edge, Topic. Interesting. Big green coming up, new high of the day. Holding the 50 Fibonacci. There's the overnight high level. We have call buying, put selling, an aggressive amount of call buying, put selling here. Look at that, straight up on the calls, straight up on the puts. Now we're coming up. We got the overnight high just breached. Very aggressive candle. That's a 150-point green candle on NASDAQ. They turn the algos on. They turn them on. We're in a 100-point range during 2K payout secure. I'm not messing with weekend. There you go. It's a good thing. Winners run after buffer. I started trading on TPT and getting a hang of things. It's a different style of trading due to the trailing drawdown of the pro account. Do you scalp your way through the buffer? Yeah, that's exactly what I do. So I'll put on my predetermined risk. I'll scalp my way to the buffer. Once I hit the first buffer, then I'll expand the risk a little bit till I get to the second buffer, and then after second buffer, it's off to the races from there. With TPT, though, you have to be very selective with what you trade. You have to. You can't sit here and trade 15 times a day with TPT because eventually one of those trades will get you on the trailing drawdown. You've got to choose your trades wisely. Weekly high lows, major pivots, clear indications. And you know the difference. You as a trader, if you've been trading long enough, you know the difference between something that looks really good or something that you're just kind of guessing on. So reserve your TPT. And if you have the itch where you just have to trade, then cool. Then go get yourself a Top Step account or something, or Lucid or one of the other ones to trade in addition. TPT is one of those you have to reserve the trades for high quality stuff. Like right now, for example, my Quant Tower is not even open. My Quant Tower is not even open because none of this to me is high confidence. Second buffer. Yeah, my personal opinion is I want to build 2x buffer before I start taking payouts. So I have 2x buffer on it because that allows me to keep the account open for much, much longer. Do I ever get this message on TPT? I've never gotten that message on TPT. Big green. Big green. Now we're coming up to yesterday afternoon's high of 943. We have a tremendous amount of call selling, put buying, or put selling. Call buying, put selling, which is bullish. You see both of these lines here are going up. So on a 50K, it's, no, 4K. Because your first, on a 50K, the buffer is $2,000. So 2x buffer would be $4,000. Still going green. $877 going up to $900. Still going. Here comes 943. Here comes 943. There he goes, 922 going up. Beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. We have a high volume B-shaped below Val, and then we shifted the not clear for me, took it out. Well, options chain is extremely bullish right now. They have pounded the calls and puts here. I stuck with my top of higher thesis all morning. Been a long morning. Yeah. Was that a 3C that just played out? It was. Not the best looking one. I didn't take a trade on it. But yeah. So we had some very erratic price action. They held to 50, which is a bullish thing. Closed over the high of 814, and just now they're rocketing up to 843. They're about to take out yesterday afternoon's low, or high yesterday afternoon's high of 943. So another 20 points. Tremendous. It's crazy. Another 200 points there on NASDAQ going up. Looking for 942. Why was I thinking 3? Maybe I had that. No, it's all right. You're good, math. You're good. And that's my personal choice, too. You know, y'all do your thing. You could also do a blending of the two. So if you're, once you hit the buffer, for every $1,000 you pull out, 500 goes to you, 500 goes to building your buffer. Don't take everything out. Because the whole goal is longevity, right? Just build as much as you can. And then one day you could take, 20, 30, 40, whatever grand out and keep on going. But I want you all to seriously consider, if you haven't already, open up a brokerage account and funnel all your payouts into that brokerage account. Because eventually, the prop firm strategy will be so restrictive that only the tip of the spear traders will ever be able to consistently take payouts. Eventually. So get yourself a brokerage account. I've been several hundred away from that buffer goal, then I lost the account. Now I take the payout to cover a cost and pay another account. There you go. Fantastic. Here we go. Now we're coming up to 943 right in this area. Do we have volume spikes? We do have a volume spike on this candle. Still going, though. Next target's going to be 943. Can we even get 943? Do you get a free account with your code? Yes, you do. So if you use code OMTPT with TakeProfitTrader, you'll get 40% off, plus you'll get a free funded account, which will come in a form of a credit, by the way. So once you pass your evaluation, you'll go to sign up for your eval, or for your funded, I'm sorry, and it'll give you the choice to either pay for it with your own money, or you'll see at the bottom, apply the credit. So you have to apply the credit for it. Otherwise, you'll pay for the account. So, but yeah. 24917. Gold? What's gold doing? This looks like absorption for a higher pop, by the way. Gold blasted and put in a high volume spike with a top wick, 50.43. Looking left, this is a retest of Wednesday's lows, SR flip. But they've captured a little over 50% of that move yesterday. Silver hasn't really broken out yet. They're putting on a high volume spike into their overnight high. But Nasdaq looks like it's want to accumulate in base here. Right here. Right here. Last time you posted that, we got wrecked. And you post it now and we dropped 60 points. Oh, man. Crazy with your rockets. Crazy with your rockets. Am I trading futures? Yes, I am. What size accounts do you recommend for TPT? Whatever your risk tolerance is. Honestly, they're all the same as long as you're position sized properly. So, you know, if you're not a big risk taker, then go with the 25K. Did your teachings work for trading futures? Yes, they do. Holy crap, Christos, you topped them. You called the top. Look at that. Woo! Still going. Wow. Still going. Look at that. I was trying to get that 943 before a top tick, but they did it before. That was a quick 100-point dump. Right off of it. Spicy. What brokerage do you recommend for a private broker? IBKR. Interactive Brokers. There's cheaper options out there and less margin requirements, but IBKR is as close as you can get to a professional broker as you can. Plus, you could trade SPX 24/7 if you want, or 24/5, 23/5. Do I use margin? Not really. Not anymore. Well, I guess it depends what you mean by that. Am I using margin to over-leverage into stock positions? Not anymore like I used to. I utilize margin and leverage for writing premium, short options, futures, stuff like that, but I'm not buying true margin, no. Technically, you're using margin when you short stocks. Look at that sell-off. Holy crap-a-roni. I don't care for their new brokerage. They do have a new brokerage that's kind of a modern interface. I actually don't like it. I like the old interface. It is clunky, but it's very useful, and you get instant fills. Crystals, look at this. Look what you did. Like, this is hilarious. Look at that. Here's 937. Look. Look. That's a top signal if I've ever seen it. Might get a nice long to VAH on this pullback. We'll see. We need a lower low. So, which we're about to get. If they can close it, we got it. With all these puts sold, I am hard time thinking we're tanking hard at new lows. First time here. No, don't apologize. That's why we're here, baby. I like the questions. Keep it up. Ooh, my weapon, my AR-15 has arrived. Guess what I'm going to do today? Actually, I have to do it tomorrow because I have a busy day. What time you off? I probably need to jump off here a few minutes. I mean, I'm fine. I could probably stay the whole time, but I just have to do a little hurrying up. So, are you buying any new long-term stocks? The only thing I'm adding right now is TLT. I've even stopped buying TRTX too. I'm still holding TRTX. It'll take a lot for me to sell that position, but I'm no longer adding. Right now, I'm buying TLT. That's it. Still can't get access to what? To IBKR? Man, what a freaking sell. Amazing. All right, let's see if they do the trend lines here. TPT. Guy has been pounding his chest on the TLT trade. I'm telling you, man, it's going to be there. It's not going to make you a whole ton of money, but it'll make you a good amount of money where everything else is dropping. It's the way to go. I promise you, I would not have touched my TSP if I wasn't confident in that position. I do not have confidence in the valuations of the economy at the market right now. Another top wick here, 787. Got wrecked. Wrecked. They're selling back the calls. They're buying back the puts. We do have a 3C short indication here. $801. I had a good week, better than I was expecting, just observing the market today. Nice, Damien. Well done, buddy. Enjoy that weekend. What tool do you use to check all the calls? I use what's called Hiro, H-I-R-O, which is a spot gammas tool. If you're looking on the left side of that YouTube stream, you'll see the little wavy chart lines. That is the puts and calls data. Highly encourage it. I am an affiliate of Spot Gamma. I think they have an awesome product. That's right, Vampire. That's right. I have no opinion, but the reason I ask is because during populist periods, the long ends tend to blow out. But definitely I could see Besant intervene to force it down. You know, I'm not that smart. You know, I try to get wrapped up in a lot of the crazy global stuff back in 2022, and it's just the market's going to do what it's going to do. What I'm banking on with my positions on TLT is the fact that the bond market is in a historical bear market on the bonds. Go look at TLT. I mean, it's been down for years and it's not bouncing. It's the longest sustained bear market in history on the bonds. So there's either two criteria for the bonds. Either the bond market gets wrecked and life as we know it ceases to exist, or bonds go back up just like they always do. So I'm betting on the fact that bond markets will recover at least a little bit. And like I've said and I've told before, I don't expect TLT to pay NVIDIA-style returns. I'm not expecting 1,000% gain on TLT. I'm expecting 20, 30% returns. However, I expect the markets to also go down heavily while that is creeping up 10, 20, 30%. So I'm going to be making 10 or 20% on my money while everyone else is getting destroyed and running for the hills. My retirement account, which is the biggest liquid asset that I own, even bigger than my stock holding portfolio, even bigger than my day trading portfolio by zeros, will be making 3, 4% a quarter while everyone else's TSPs and 401ks are getting demolished. And I'm doing it for you all for just $25 a month. Whereas other, financial advisors are charging you 5%. I'm not asking for 5%. I'm asking for $25 a month, which 34 people yesterday did not think was a good value. It's all right. I forgive them. And I'll forgive them when they come crawling back, like they always do. Top wick back over, 742. Daily looks like a whole bunch of nothing. On TLT, yeah, it is a whole bunch of nothing, 100%. It hasn't moved at all in like 2 years. Yeah, and that's not even considering the dividend too, Derek. That's not even considering the dividend that TLT pays. I'm guessing some of them were spammers rotating. No, they were they wanted call-outs. Most of them did. Some of them didn't, but they were wanting call-outs, and I just don't give call-outs. I try to speak through my theory and give you exactly what I'm thinking and try to point y'all in the right direction and let you make your big decisions like the adults that you are. Call-outs are great when I'm right, but they're terrible when I'm wrong. Can you place my trades for me? Yeah, we'll do like a VR thing. Just, I prefer you wear pants when I do it next time. Who was the first member? I think it was either Chris. Twizzy's pretty old in here. I don't know who exactly the first member was. Chris D is one of the old ones. He's an OG. There's a lot of OGs, but he was one of the first. All right, NASDAQ is getting wrecked here. They broke through the trend. They have lower low. We have a 3C short on. You're an OG. Moose is an OG, yeah. How many members do I have? I think in total, 250 members, 300 members. Not many. Not many. I'm happy with tier 2. I love it. Thanks, Lauren. Appreciate you, buddy. 730 and fallen. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Call, sell, and put buying. Can you go back to saying banana again? I could say banana. Yeah, banana. Been a couple of years. Good to jump back in. What's up, Chloe? Yeah, glad to see you. Why am I saying TLT? I just like it. It's I try to pick a product that the average retail trader can buy. Now, the average retail trader doesn't know how to log into the U.S. Treasury and go buy bonds. They may not have access to different products, but TLT is very easy. Anybody with $90 can go buy one share of TLT, and it pays a dividend, and it's going to yield 10 to 20% in the next 12 months. So I appreciate y'all. Yeah. NASDAQ's coming off. We do have a tier 2 call Sunday night, by the way, so we'll be talking about some good stuff. Did I look into the W? No, I didn't. All right, so we are now pivoting off of yesterday's low price, 720. Do you think trading will be one of the few jobs available in the world where AA takes many jobs? I don't know. I think trading will be heavily influenced by AI going in the future. And from what I'm seeing here, honestly, if I'm being honest, I'm seeing a lot of destructive behavior from the AI community. AI is going to eviscerate white-collar jobs. And I think trading will be one of those that takes a hit. I mean, we already have to compete with algorithms and quants, and now we have to throw in AI to, it's going to be difficult, in my opinion. I know you explained this a couple of times already, but where do you put your investments? You said something about, yeah. So my TSP, which if you don't know what that is the is the federal version of a 401k. So you have multiple different funds. You've got the I fund, which is international. You've got the S fund, which is small fund. You have the C fund, which mimics the S&P. You've got the G fund, which is the cash slash short-term to long-term treasury fund. So I took my stuff. Usually I had it split across the S and C fund. I divested from the I fund years ago. I hate the I fund, and I took it out of the S and C and I put it into the G fund. Back on October 9th, I did that. And I did that because I am no longer confident in the valuations of the market. I think we're going to have a pretty significant drawdown. And I'm not even saying a 50% drawdown like some people, a crash. I'm just saying 20, 25% from here. I think we'll get maybe 30. And then from there, I'll just wear it. Even beyond 20, I'll go ahead and rotate it back into the C, and that'll be it. And I'll keep it there. I was reading something that was stating everyone was worried about AI taking their job, but it looked like it'd be taking the job of the people who created it. Ooh. Yeah. Another 50% rejection off the 720. The barrier to entry for trading will become higher once AI takes a larger position in trading. Yeah, I agree. That's why I've been telling y'all, man, make hay while the sun's shining. The retail community has experienced generational opportunities the past 5 years with the post-COVID price action. And now you throw in prop firms, and now you're throwing AI and all this other stuff. Make hay while the sun's shining because the window of opportunity is closing for volatility. And then we're going to go back to 2018 style price action, and you are going to wish you were dead trying to trade that price action. It's awful. All right, another green bottom wick here, back and forth. So a beautiful 3C short all the way down, 720. That was a 200-point sell-off, and now we're hammering it back up, back and forth. Right now, we are sitting at 90% odds of a rate pause for March FOMC. Big old green move right on back up. Man, all you need to do is catch one of these candles and you're golden. These are pretty dang big. Every one of these candles since 925, 1025 has been robust. There we go, still going green. Still going green. Rejecting the trend. Rejecting the trend. Off of that right there. Nice sweeping rejection off the trend. Just learning patience, trying to at least, yeah. I'd be lying if I didn't mention how frustrated I'm getting with the connection issue. Oh, you're talking about with Quan Tower? Yeah. It's a rhythmic issue, man. It's not them. It's the rhythmic issue. I'm having the same exact problem. I've never had an issue with them yesterday and today, both of them. It's been a pretty dang big issue. So, yeah. Sweeping top wick right here. Did you see the F47 Vader? I did see it. Yeah. Look at that right off that trend. Stupid trend lines. Gold short 5.15. So it's a continuation. Nice. So that was a nice little rejection off that area here, and they're promptly buying it back up. Promptly. Let's see what they're going to do here. Do you file a ticket with Rhythmic? Not yet. Coming down. 8:13, 8:14. Coming up on the top of the hour, and then we'll go for London close. In other news, I've been taking some serious profits in my long-term account. Nice. I don't want to rain on anyone's long-term account. I really want a macro market pullback. Yeah, me too. I want confidence, and that's the thing, man. I am so bearish because I'm so bullish. I want a very heavy drawdown in the market. One, so I can buy more, and so we can get some confidence back. I don't like constantly buying blast off prices without any kind of meaningful pullback. Pullbacks are healthy. It's inventory gathering. Right now, I feel like we're going into battle having already spent all of our ammunition. Like, I want to go back to base and regather a bunch of ammunition. That's amazing, math. That's incredible. I've done very similar numbers. Not quite that. Well, if you bring in the valuation of my property, I may have done that. But that's awesome, dude. Well done. 4.5 times your net worth since 18 is beautiful. 2020 was my breakaway year. A little bit of red. They are selling calls here. Selling calls. What are we doing? They're not buying any puts, though. What are we doing? Top wick, bottom wick. Top wick, bottom wick. There's a big old top wick. Can we get a breakdown? Can we get a breakdown? I bought Apple for the COVID telework craze, and I bought XOM at 37. That's awesome, dude. Those are extraordinary trades. Extraordinary. I made a lot of fantastic decisions since then, a lot of dumb decisions, one of which, my two biggest dumb decisions was I divested from Tesla and Palantir. And I had them pretty dang good dollar cost average positions on those. I thought Tesla was overvalued, and I thought Palantir was going to go into the ground, and I was wrong on those. The selling calls compared to buying puts carry more weight than the other. No, it really comes down to the deltas, Jimmy. Or Jim's eye. It comes down to the deltas. It depends on what the quantity of each is. I own thousands of shares of Palantir at 26, sold for a small profit. Yeah. It's unfortunate. My actual net worth is peanut chump change, but if I can do it again, the Lord may. Oh no, dude, you're doing fantastic, math. You're doing fantastic. Let's keep on, keep it on. There's 10 o'clock. Now we're going on to 10:30. 44 minutes ago, tremendous amount of sweet puts hit the tape. Gold. Yeah, look at that. That was beautiful. Beautiful top wicks, 3C gold, 50.42. That would have paid 50 points on gold, which is tremendous. Silver, too. That was a beautiful 3C on gold and silver, and I'm sitting there back and forth on NASDAQ. My Mrs. Ryan TC, Bitcoin, and SOL. 200% profit on gold and silver a little over a year ago. Chump change compared to several thousand, but it's a marathon. It is a marathon. Yep. Sweet puts hit the tape. Sweep with a P, not sweet. So yeah, it's just saying that the general market had experienced a very large inflow of sweep, which means when you put in a sweep order, there's different ways to implement large orders. Me and you were never going to deal with sweeps. The big players who are putting on 50 to 100 to 500 million dollar trades, you have to deal with sweeps. So there's not going to be any one exchange who can fill an order for $1 billion worth of puts. So you have to put it across multiple exchanges, which is a sweep. So you put it into a sweep, and it just basically says, go fill my order across as many exchanges as you can get, and it'll go out there and seek out your orders. Usually that is a sign of intention. People who are putting on a sweep order usually want to be in that position for a particular reason. That's the interpretation, at least. Another top weight, can't get back up. I'm now moving 50% cash in TLT. Love it. I really want to learn option shorts on my larger positions. Okay, well, let's learn it. Let's learn it. It's a fantastic way to generate some income as long as you don't treat it as a big money payer. If you get into options shorting to make big money, then you're probably going to get wrecked because you're going to take too much risk. You're going to take too aggressive of positions. So I approach options shorting like credit spreads and whatever other any other strategy. I approach that as just a little bit extra income. Can I bring in a couple extra $100 a week or maybe $500 a month? Just enough to start buying more shares and so on and so forth. Retirement strategy. I wake up when I'm 70 years old, sip my coffee, and I put on a couple of spreads. I pay a couple $100, and that's it. Does the tape capture all exchanges or only public ones? Well, I mean, pretty much everything is public except for obviously the dark pool, which that's not really dealing with options. But yeah, even the dark pool still has to come across the exchange at some point. Still going. We have call buying, put selling back up. I just wanted to put on a short for Apple on Wednesday. Apple moved $12, down $12. I just wanted to cover my position in broken account. For 100 shares of Apple, and I want to add a position. I have to sell high and buy low. I have to pay the tax on it. Yeah. Of course, you could also, if you've got 100 shares of Apple, you could do covered calls. That's a perfect opportunity to do some covered calls on Apple if you think it's not going to go up anymore. You'll just have to call away your shares if you're dead wrong. But big volume on a big green again. Big volume on a big green again. Right inside the trend line, too. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. It's just following it up, man. Just following it up. High volume spike on the 10:06 candle. Another top wick back over. Look at the volume. Look at the volume. What does volume mean at the highs? Look at that. Just like last time and the time before that. Am I on Central Time? Central Alaskan Time, yeah. No, I'm on Central Time. Is that a volume continuation to go up? Negative. As a volume spike for supply. Meaning we've hit a large batch of sell orders. Of course, all my top step accounts are still paused. Why are they paused? I thought you meant you locked them out. Why are they paused? By the way, if y'all are ever building a house, my number one recommendation on a new construction is putting in a whole home audio. Can't recommend it enough. Fantastic. One of my favorite things about this house. Cost me less than $3,000 for the entire house. That's every material. That's for the system. That's for the speakers. That's for the wiring. Of course, I did the labor myself, but it's awesome. Does your home audio have independent zones for each space? I did. It does, yeah. I went with Juke Audio. The speakers themselves I got off of a rich guy on Facebook Marketplace. He was selling them. He said he bought them. He ended up not using them, so I bought them for $200. The speakers themselves. The system was Juke Audio, and their app is fantastic. So I could shut off each room. I could turn all the rooms on. It's great. Big red. Again, off the trend line, off Kennedy's trend line. Big red coming on down. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Love it. Love it. I'm waiting for support to do whatever is needed for unlocking. I don't even know what that is. I've been stupid busy over 2 weeks now. I'm just slinging all the new agreements and MFAs. Oh, I see what you're saying. Whatever the hedging crap stuff is. Big red candle, that is a 3C right there. High volume top wick. Of course, the trend line for extra oomph. And down we go, baby. Down we go. Are they going to drill it or what, baby? There he goes. Large red moves. Large red moves. What's options? Oh, but they're selling all the calls here. They are selling all the calls. Let's see what they can do. Maybe get us a nice little rejection move. That would be great. Fill lower. Awesome. That would be awesome. Another top wick. 833, 830. Once this fails, we'll start to play down into 807 area. There we go. Now we're extending. Now we're extending. Beautiful. Shaking in a bacon, baby. Shaking in a bacon. Large red candles all the way down. Love to see it. 3 C's all the way, baby. 3 C's all the way. High volume, top wicks, lower lows. Give me the old Master P right there. What songs play in every room at the end of the bathroom? So songs play. Oh, yeah. I mean, if I want to do that, yeah, I can play them in the bathroom if I want to, which I usually do when I'm taking a shower. I'll do my karaoke in the shower, which is pretty awesome. Great acoustics in the shower. Little Steve Winwood. The line charts on the left is Spot Gamma's Hero Tool, HIRO. That is an options flow tool, which is extraordinary. All right, what are we doing, baby? I would blast Reveille every morning. My family would hate me. Dude, I love it. I love it. I've done that before, but yeah. I missed the military life, dude. I loved it. I was perfectly cut out for the military life. You know that today's a Friday the 13th, right? I do, yeah. I was down $1,500 on a 50K eval an hour ago. Just brought it to $220 for the day. Nice. Plus 220. Green across all TPT accounts. Logging off for the weekend. Nice, noob. I will see you back on Tuesday. I love it. Well done, buddy. I'm proud of you. Doesn't it feel great when you go back to green on a Friday? You can enjoy the weekend instead of being in trouble. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. RTY's top wicking after being rallied. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? What time frame do I execute my trades on? Multiple time frames, but usually I'm going for the 5. The 5-minute, 15-minute are my favorites. Oh, I don't want to do that. Go back. There we go. I like that chest rig. Looking for a new chest rig. Haley, I want a new chest rig, I want a new helmet, and I want a helmet that'll accommodate some NVGs. That's why. So. Night shoot at conference? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm trying to get the binoculars set up. The binoculars are great, but I want the buy. I want both of them. I haven't settled on a brand yet. I've seen a couple of good ones out there. The markets are expanding, so prices are starting to come down. Going back green, coming back up. Another top wick. What are we doing, homie? What are we doing? My computer's running a little bit slow right now. A little bit slow right now. Oh, big green pop. What was that? What was that? What was that? Top wick back down again. Top wick back down again. For the short-term trades, I'll follow the 3 C's with volume on the 1 minute, high, highs, lows, low on the 5. What is a good equivalent for long-term? 4-hour volume daily confirmation. I mean, it's really the same thing. Am I getting a latency spike? I actually was getting a latency spike. How'd you know that? Well, because I guess we had a quick pop. Look at the Chimera. Oh, yeah, take a look. Thank you. You're the most interesting dude I've ever met, Phil. I can't wait to hang out with you. I like it. Holy smokeronies. If I want to spend $26,000, that is a fantastic, fantastic option. Ultralight articulating panoramic vision. I'm trying to get my wife on board with a 50 cal, which I think she already is. I have to budget for it. I have a daily goal. If I hit my goal by the end of the year, she gets her Lexus, I get my 50 cal. Top wick back over again. What's tech doing here? Nvidia, Microsoft is all down. AVGO all coming off. Bribery works with my wife? Heck yeah, man. Phil's an academic. That's Dr. Phil to you, yeah. Beautiful, beautiful top wick. Back over. That is a 60-point top wick. They are selling calls and buying puts, baby. Selling calls and buying puts. This is very spicy. Very, very spicy, sir. Man, my computer, what is going on? It's lagging as crap. Can y'all hear me? Am I cutting in and out for y'all, or am I good? Is the audio good? Another top wick. Good? Another top wick back over. I think we're going to break down here. I think we are going to break down here. There it goes. Breaking down a Roni. My Firefox just froze, locked up. Coming on down. Something looks sketchy here, people. My alarm bells are going off here. My alarm bells are going off here. Audio's good. Right back to here. Can y'all hear me on YouTube? Another red. Keep on going. 784, 785. We have a bunch of call, sell, and put buying. Alert, alert, danger. Return to Energizer. Good on YouTube? We have 3 top wicks into the 865. We have it all indicated by a 3C short. We have call selling and put buying. SPX is 32% IV, good indicator something's going to happen. I agree. I agree. Can I get a Three Stooges impression? Yeah, 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 yeah. $7.93. This is a pivot point right here. What's RTY doing? RTY is finally top ticking. We need RTY to really get on board. Gold, beautiful 3C, all the way back up. Silver is the same. NASDAQ is still drifting. SPX premiums are jacked up. They are. What's VIX doing? VIX is coming on and back up. They do not want to bring VIX back below 20. I think we're ready for the cycle up on the VIX. I think we're ready for it. I need to close out stuff. I think Phil just nuked my computer because right when I opened his link, my Firefox crashed. The Chinese spy. Oh man, that's hilarious. That's why Elon didn't want him. Another top wick here. Can we do it? They're selling a bunch. Oh, whoa, hey, oh, we're going. Man, these are 30, 40.1 minute candles. These are spicy. These are spicy. Look at that. Call, selling, put, buying. Call, selling, and put, buying. All the way down. There it is. Breaking lower. Breaking lower. Does a 3C mean short? 3Cs are my system that I use to enter. So I need a volume spike, I need a top wick, and I need a lower low to short, which we do have. And all the way down. So yeah. Another green candle. Defending 780. Tremendous amount of call selling, put buying right here. Tremendous. Top wick galore is right here. Options do not look good. 260 million of calls sold. That's all the way down. Let's see what they do with this green candle. 780. They're selling back puts. They're buying. They're buying back puts and selling off calls. $7.90. Oh man. Let's see it. $7.60 will get us low of the day of $7.25 right here. So nice little downward trending starting to form right here. Bounce right off VWAP. There you go. This could be a sign it wants to stay here. I think so, yeah. I think so. Either way, that is going to culminate my trading week. I am done for the week. I will be out of the office for the rest of the session. I might. I'm just going to go ahead and say I'm done for the session, the rest of the session. So don't even. I'll be dealing with the funeral. I'll be gone, so I won't even be in and out. So if you have any questions, please hit me up. So far, it's back and forth. There's some beautiful 3Cs here if you are patient enough and play the pivots. So hope you have a good rest of the day. Remember, if you're green for the day, I encourage you to go ahead and just close everything out. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. There's no reason to lose it. The market will be here next week with OPEX. Just do it. Enjoy your 3-day weekend. So I'll let you know if we're going to do a stream on Monday. I don't believe we will,